Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into a really powerful idea, one that's about reframing India's entire energy future. We're not just talking about a transition, but a full-blown national mission. This is about a huge turning point, moving from energy vulnerability to what's being called energy sovereignty.
And it all really starts with this one simple, powerful truth. A great nation, well, it just can't permanently outsource the very foundations of its survival. Think about things like food and, of course, energy. This single idea really sets the stage for everything we're about to get into.
Because look, this isn't some abstract concept. It has very real, very immediate consequences. We've all seen it happen, right? Turmoil in the Middle East, sanctions affecting oil producers. Whatever happens thousands of miles away doesn't just stay there. It lands right here, impacting India's economy, its industries, and ultimately, its future.
Okay, so let's dig into that. Let's break down this vulnerability. What exactly is this Achilles heel in the nation's energy system?
It's not just one thing, it's a whole web of issues. Relying on imported fuel means you're exposed to wars in the regions that produce it. You're vulnerable to sanctions from other countries, to disruptions in shipping lanes, and to those wild, sudden price shocks we've all felt. Each one of these is like a string that someone else can pull, putting your entire economic stability at risk.
But here's where the story pivots. This moment of danger isn't just being seen as a threat. Instead, it's being framed as a kind of summons, a national calling to build something much stronger, much more resilient.
So what is energy sovereignty, really? Well, let's be clear, it's not about isolation. It's about building a resilient, diverse energy system right here at home. And this completely redefines the mission. Suddenly, energy isn't just an economic line item anymore. It becomes a core pillar of national security itself. And this just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got dependence. That leads to price shocks, vulnerability, and even being pushed around on the world stage. But on the other side, you have sovereignty, and that builds resilience, economic stability, and the strategic freedom to chart your own course. I mean, the contrast is just, wow. And this is maybe the most crucial point. The whole conversation is shifting. Pushing for renewables and energy independence isn't just a green choice or some kind of luxury anymore. It's now being seen as an absolute, non-negotiable strategic necessity for survival and growth in a pretty unpredictable world.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a monumental task, right? But the thing is, the argument goes that India has been here before. It's faced huge foundational challenges just like this, and it's overcome them.
Just look at this pattern. Right after independence, there was deep food insecurity. But then the Green Revolution led to self-sufficiency. Or in the 80s, when supercomputer tech was denied. What happened? India didn't give up. It went and built its own, the Param series. This history shows there's a repeatable model here for turning a vulnerability into a major strength.
And that's the key lesson from all of this, isn't it? It's a story of resilience. The idea is that when India is challenged or denied something, it doesn't get crushed, it gets ignited. And the current energy challenge is being framed as the next big chapter in that very same story.
So that brings us from the why to the how. If energy sovereignty is the destination, what does the roadmap actually look like? Well, the answer is literally written all over the nation's map.
And the strategy isn't some generic one-size-fits-all plan. No way. Instead, it's about assigning different roles to different regions, playing to their unique natural strengths. This table gives you a quick feel for it. Solar in the west, wind on the coasts, R&D in the tech hubs. Let's zoom in on a few of these key frontiers. First up, the solar frontier. Think about those vast, sun-drenched deserts in states like Rajasthan and Gujarat. They're basically identified as the perfect spot for giant, utility-scale solar parks. They can become the powerhouse for the whole country's daytime energy needs. Next, we've got the wind frontier. India's huge coastline, especially around places like Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, is seen as this incredible strategic asset. We're not just talking about ports for trade anymore. We're talking about turning the coast into a powerful engine for both onshore and, this is key, offshore wind energy.
And then you have the Northeast. Its role is totally different, but absolutely vital. With its major river systems, especially in Arunachal Pradesh, this region is the key to providing large-scale hydropower. And that's essential for keeping the whole grid stable when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing.
So yeah, this is a massive security and infrastructure project, but it's also being framed as something else, a really powerful engine for national economic growth.
I mean, the economic benefits could be transformative. Think about it.
You keep all that wealth at home instead of spending it on imported fuel. You create tons of high-tech, industrial jobs. You basically insulate your economy from all those external shocks. It becomes this amazing internal economic multiplier.
Now, to make this vision a reality, you absolutely need storage. And this number here, 50 gigawatt hours, that's the target for making batteries right here in India. This isn't just about generating power, it's about mastering the tech to store it and use it when you need it. And that is a huge industrial mission all by itself.
So when you tie this all together, it's clear this is about something bigger. Energy sovereignty isn't just the end goal. It's being presented as a foundational engine for achieving that larger national aspiration of a developed India, a Viksit Bharat, by providing the secure, affordable energy that everything else runs on.
Okay, so the vision is clear. The geography is mapped out. The economic case is pretty compelling. But how do you actually get there? What's the real path forward?
Well, the proposal really boils down to these 5 core actions. First, formally map out these energy zones state by state. Second, use government-controlled land to avoid conflicts and delays. Third, and this is so important, build the transmission lines and storage in advance, not as an afterthought. Fourth, train the people you're going to need for all these new jobs. And finally, just streamline the approvals so you can actually get stuff built quickly.
And that brings us to one last really big idea to think about. For more than a century, the global hunt for energy, for oil, has fueled so much conflict. So it raises this really profound question. What happens if a nation can get its own energy from things that are everywhere, like the sun and the wind? Could building a self-reliant energy grid be more than just an act of national security? Could it actually be an instrument of peace? Something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.